Hi, folks. Hmm. My name is Theodore Cottingham, and this is a school, and this is a teaching, a lesson in this school, a school for me to be me. Me, the deification of no more. We're no longer camping in deification of me land. We're breaking camp. Backing up, laying aside a lot of garbage stuff, things we don't need anymore, beliefs, references, books, teaching, teachers. You see, this school works very differently than any you've accustomed yourselves to in the past. For I have been me in you, not or am I you, or me are we becoming one again. The deification not of, but the meification, the simplification of coming into your stardom, breaking camp. No longer the comfortableness in that we have been in. No longer the comfort zone. No longer the comfort of scriptures that we've relied on, that we've taken comfort in, solace, trying to comfort our souls, trying to have peace, not even thinking about that we are creators. We have been so confused, discombobulated, inebriated, own religion. We have become so accustomed to our ways that we have failed to create, failed to appreciate, failed to become. We've simply failed ourselves in creating what we are. For we bring to the birth now ourselves, ourselves from within. You see, the consciousness of confusion will no more reign in us, for we are no longer camping in deification land. For there is no deity that will pacify us, because we're not looking for pacification. We're not looking to be pacified with a pacifier in our mouth. We're not looking for those eloquent orators to feed us anymore. Those who are humorous, tell a few jokes, strut across the stage, have their jets. My friend, this is not about them. This is about me. I am about me. Not my Father's business, but the path of me. I teach me. I teach unaffraidly not, or am I going where I have feared to tread, to trod in the past? Or are you? Are you willing to break camp? and no longer be fed the story of the children of Israel wandering in the desert for 40 some odd years, thinking that was a historical account of a people back then that you should maybe know the story of? Or is that the story of you? Is this the story? You see, we're living the story, the path to no longer be pastored by confusion, blindness, ignorance, patriarchy. The realification of me now is begun. The real me. The real me. The real me. The real me. It's no longer limited to this flesh. No longer limited to my flesh. Will you see you saying that to you in your mirror this day? I am no longer limited to this flesh. I am becoming the real me. The real me that is no longer tormented by you religionists. No longer creating a separation. No longer hanging a veil between thee and me. I'm coming out. Coming out of what? The encrusted ideas, the cognitive results, the cognitive powers that have produced a result of me being me in the flesh, separate from you, separate from God, separate from our cosmos. Do we have a cosmos, or are we just enjoying camping in the desert with our flesh suits on, trying to tell each other, oh, it'll get better next year. It'll get better. Jesus is coming back. The soon coming King will arrive, and we'll all be raptured to meet him in the air, and all our problems will be solved. Or are you realizing you've been camping on earth? You've been in slavery. You are in slavery. You're in hell or the desert of hell, or the desert of the earth. Do you see what I'm saying? Will you see the Bible not? Will you see the living, flowing word that will come through you? To be in my school, that you school yourselves with through the living word that nobody can canonize out of you and say, behold, this is the word. No, my friend. Living love is a flow. Unconditional love is a flow. Unconditional love. Where are we going? Unconditional land. I'll share with you another story from my friend Randy Hurst, a great orator. Oh gosh. So he's a bigwig in the Assemblies of God denomination. He's my friend. I heard Randy tell the story that a friend of his in Bible school, I can remember and tell it right. I think on the campus they were having a revival. So they were in multiple religious meetings during the day and then at night. And his friend kept praying, praying, praying. Oh God, I'll do this for you. I'll do that for you. I'll eat locust the rest of my life. I'll go here, go there, go to the uttermost parts of the earth. I'll do this, I'll do that. God, I'll do this, that, or the other. And about time the revival was about to end or whatever, he was kneeling, going through all his oration. And he felt God speak to him. Multiple times his friend had taken a piece of paper and even wrote these things out. I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to do that. I'll go here. I'll go there. I'll say this. I'll become this. I'll give up this. I'll do this. And he was writing all those things on this paper. But finally, God spoke to him. And said, turn the page over, sign it, and I'll fill it in. I like that story. It's one that has meant a lot to me. But you see, we have imbibed, we have become drunk, we have become complacent in the idea that we yield to a separate power, a power that is not ours, not us, in the acknowledgement and the belief, the desire to serve, to be a servant of God, not a leader, but a servant. We create walls, we create veils, we create images because we're all creators. And we create the very substance of confusion. We create the power of our neurons. Or do our neurons hold control power over us? Pardon me. We're breaking camp. We're no longer studying the deification of the common man, common woman, deification. Jesus the pattern, I wrote a book on it. Deification, or simply the common becoming as Jesus is. Beginning with a common you, learning how to do all the things Jesus did and more. But I'm not teaching the Bible, though I draw from a number of references. And I draw from the books I have written. And I encourage you, you can get Jesus the Pattern on my website, TheodoreCottingham.com. But see, this is not the answer. It's a reference. It's a textbook. It's a book you can draw from to see you in the picture, to see you in the allegory, for you to feel the metaphor is no longer separate from you. So we're breaking camp. We're breaking diatribes no more to try to dissect their meaning of the ambiguity, the application. We're becoming who we are, a people of light, a people of creation who are creators. And we don't know how to do all of this, you see. Pardon me. It's not innate in flesh. So we're changing. It's time. We're breaking camp, folks. Gather the horses. We'll ride out at sunset? No. Dawn. First light. We'll ride out at first light. The very break of dawn tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow marks a new year. A new path. A new awareness. Where you no longer hold on to your past preferences for comfort, your past needs for reassurance, your past quest for security, predictability. We're going into a place we've never been before. Not in this life, anyway. And the path is before you. I have given you the path. I have talked about the path. I have taught the path, the Meonics Path of me becoming me. You in your mirror saying that. Where you begin to choose another story, another creation script, manuscript, where you are writing the words, no longer fomenting confusion, no longer forming a path of sorrow through your neutrons, your neurons, your metropolises. Fritz Lang? We are no longer the workman, striving to please the God, striving to be approved so that we're not ashamed. We're no longer in the deification of something somewhere else that we think has power over us, that we must appease, that we must serve. We're coming out of the slavery. I'm playful sometimes. I'm happy. I'm content not, but I'm encouraged. I'm not apprehensive about the future, nor its politics, political realms, or the divisiveness of the earth, nor its volcanoes, hurricanes, or acts of nature. We're going to a new place, folks. This is the school of me, the school of the inner me, the school of the voice, the school of God, school of Christ, school of the Atman Brahman, school of whatever else it is you want to apply a name to. I'm talking about the great within. Whether you call it the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven, whether you call it the vast unexplored consciousness, what you call it does not feed the operation of if your motive is pure. So now we're no longer sitting in Sunday school. We're no longer dying in a pew, waiting for our beaks to be filled by a mother bird bringing us a worm. to have sustenance so we don't die. We're no longer seeking the crumbs from the rich man's table. We're no longer worried about the lion's den or the fiery furnace. We're no longer worried about the famine, war, rumors of war. We're becoming a people. The deification of me, no longer. But who is speaking now? Me, the flesh man? Me, the consciousness of Christ, God, or you? Or is there a consciousness beyond belief? A consciousness, a fabric of something. Fabric? Fabric. Must we think in terms of dimensions? Got to cut the heater off again. Let this mind be in you that was in Christ Jesus, who thought it not robbery to be equal with God. We've sought deity because we've been taught a deity exists and we're not it. We've been taught to create the veil, the chasm. We've been taught to drink the chalice of the words, the liquid, the blood, the life force, the idea, conceiving, conception, the consciousness that we are not creators. We've deified something else. We've called into being that which we want to worship, seek solace from, ask for miracles, and become pacified because we study a book, because we pray a lot. I did. I spent thousands of hours in prayer. This was my book. And boy, I spent many a year in it. Many a year. It was my source of connection, a source of connection. But my friend, this is not the way. The truth and the life is not someone else. The truth and the life are you, if you will no longer abdicate your precious reasoning, your logic, your rationale, your ability to sustain your presence in your present form. We're breaking camp. We're no longer limited to our present form. You see, this is a story, an allegory, part fiction, part nonfiction. It doesn't matter. The story, many stories are valid. Become a gleaner, but don't park here. Glean, the book I wrote. After I began channeling in 2003. I began writing this in 2006 in London. Pardon me. And I wrote this book over a period of 11 years. But see, this is not the answer. Anybody who tells you the answer is XYZ. May or may not have some value for you to begin to see you in your mirror instead of someone else, something else, another path. You have resources, you have tools, you have words, you have knowledge, but don't stop here. Into the cosmos we go now. Our destination, not, but our path within. Well, how can we be going out there and going inside at the same time? You say it's mutually exclusive? No. The way we go out there is to first go inside. The holy place, the Holy of Holies. The temple not made with hands, the mind. The mind of your consciousness, the consciousness of God. God, Creator, the Divine One. There we go, deifying it again, you see. We have been so pummeled. We become permeated with the tentacles of a belief system that's hard to eradicate, hard to overcome, hard to believe not in the deity, the deification, the superpower of something else, because we perceive ourselves so weak. We see ourselves as grasshoppers in our own sight. We become beggars. Wanting crumbs from a rich man's table, a paycheck. Ah, I understand. We're going to a new time zone, not. We're going to a new creation land. Creation land. The land of creation. The land of creation where the portal is open. The portal is inside you. The path is inside of you. The great within, the unlimited infinite. And this, my friend, is where we're going as we break camp this afternoon, today, tonight, tomorrow. Or are we changing the way that time uses us, or that we think time works? Are you going to the future? Will you come back to the past no longer to live in the precepts and principles of the authorities of this, that this manufactured in you? The feebleness that was created caused you to want crutches, walkers, and be appointed to die. What if, just what if? It's not sacrilege to ask these questions. Unconditional love invites your exploration this day. You think you can ask the hard questions? Hard questions are invited in this school. The ones that nobody else will answer. The ones that nobody else has the answer for, you have inside of you. But will you get them? Will you go there? Will you sit down with you and quit praying to another? Will you be you? Mary? Will you ponder the seed? What seed? The message. The message of a new consciousness coming forth. We're leaving the old one behind, not. We are creating a new atmosphere, a new consciousness, a new school, a curriculum that does not bar you from heaven. You're no longer waiting to appease a God. Live by the rules of the authorities that tell you they have authority over you. No one has authority over you but you. Hear me. Pardon me. We're going to a new place. See, we're breaking camp. So why do I keep coming back to that? Why did I name this teaching that? Well, you see, this morning when I was sitting in this chair, drinking my coffee, that phrase emerged in my consciousness. The deification of me ends now, and the meification of me takes place. I don't think I ever even thought about the meification, whether you're using apostrophe or not. M-E apostrophe, I-F-I-C-A-T-O-N. The meification, this is Meonics, where the real me is becoming me again, who has the same mind. The mind, the physical mind, the neurons, or the consciousness? Or are you willing to be no longer located in the locality of your coherence? Or are you no longer entangled with just the neurons of one place? Are you willing to see a different story and not be limited to your story of creation? I've taught many hours about seeing the real you in this story, seeing you in the movie The Truman Show, seeing you in the movies The Matrix, The Adjustment Bureau. Glean from them. Glean. The visuals are powerful. Terrific. Allegorical, metaphorical. Glean. Now be a gleaner. We're breaking camp so that the camp of confusion, the camp of the allegory of the past, will no longer limit us. Not this, not this. Both are usable. Both you can glean from. But where it really takes place is not at the altar. It's in where you will go inside of you. Whether or not you will take time, whether you are willing to take time to ponder, not pray, ponder. I began pondering the word ponder, especially the last couple of days. Prayer denotes reverence, maybe even reverential fear. Fear of the Lord. Fear? There's no love in fear. Or maybe itty bitty tiny bit? Fear of the Lord? What Lord? Whose Lord? What cosmic being would control us or try to control us? What cosmic influence? What are the planets saying, doing? What are the consciousness on those planets, and what are the fabric of their time space, or do they have one? Or are you the creation of all creation? So that the cosmos is not out of reach. The cosmos is in you. And the fabric of this time space no longer limits you unless you just want it to, unless you insist you know the truth. Insisting that that truth will make you free. My friends, the truth doesn't make you free. When you begin to know the truth and you're willing to come inside, you begin to grow it. You begin to grow the portal. You begin to grow the path. You begin to walk no longer the Emmaus road of somebody else. You're no longer seeking to be approved by someone else. You're no longer insatiably seeking the approval of somebody else or to be worthy. Or to have food to eat from the rich man's table. Why do you think we had the story about Jesus feeding the 4,000, the 5,000? Or the prophet in the Old Testament feeding 100 warriors with a little bread and it multiplying? The cruse of oil that never runs out. So that we're no longer dependent upon the rich man's table or his payroll. There's an existence, you see, we haven't grasped the meaning of. We've lived in deification land, religion land, with the religiosity of the religioners who want to crown us underneath their authority. But we come out now. We're no longer under the authority of religion. We break camp. We break up the fallow ground. And the consciousness of confusion, ambiguity, hatred, brutality, conformity goes bye-bye, one by one, neuron by neuron, day by day, concept by precept, line by line. How about a download? Neo! How do you like those downloads? How'd that feel? You knew jiu-jitsu now? Download how? Just like this. Just like I am speaking to you. I am speaking with you. For you to speak to you. For you to see the real you. The real you in your mirror that no longer has a veil between you and the creator of all creation. Let this mind be in you. This is the lesson for today, New Year's Eve, 2024. We're breaking camp. We're going somewhere we've never been before. Maybe? Oh, I think you have. But we've forgotten. But I've explained that more than once. But let us now enter no longer the deification of another to enter the courts with praise and thanksgiving to a God who will please us if we try to please it. No longer trying to curry favor. Curry. I like curry. The spice of life. Spice of love. Spice. Love, spice, love. Dune. Did you see the movie Dune? D-U-N-E. All allegory. I love you. I go now. I am comfortable, not. I am encouraged. I am courageous, not. I am willing. I am willing to be seen and not heard. Not again. For I rise up maize. And there will be people in nursing homes now. Little old ladies that have been walking on walkers, needing a bedpan, who will begin to do miracles because they're not afraid. They're no longer worried about death conquering them. They begin to see who they are, and they become. They come to see the seed of the Christ, the seed of the Word, the living Word. They come to see their power. Whether you call them witches, whether you call them angels, I don't care not, but it doesn't matter. You'll begin to see the move of God. No, my friend, this is not the move of God that so many have wanted, pray for revival, pray, move of God, God heal our land. This is the move of me. In your mirror, to be not separate. Do you see the message? Do you see the difference? Cataclysmic. Seismic revelation. So we're breaking camp. We're no longer holding church, holding a revival, trying to produce converts. Disciples of religion no more hold power over me, for the me's rise up now. Me's who understand Meonics, who begin to walk the Meonics path. Not a path of conversion or religion, but a path of you becoming the real you. The real you, the cosmic you, the unafraid you, the courageous you. As you begin to understand unconditional love. And understand the cosmos is within you. And not be afraid to explore it. No longer afraid of the giants of religion or the apprehension of a ghost, holy or not. Did you see the movie Ghost with Demi Moore? Demi Moore, Patrick Swayze, highly recommended. Ghost. And Whoopi Goldberg, boy, great, great people. So we're breaking camp. Have I said that enough? A repetitive proclamation, declaration. Or are you willing to know my declarations came from me? Or will your declarations come from you now, the proclamations of, so that you're no longer living a life of allegory? You're no longer praising a God that doesn't serve you, or a God that doesn't exist, or a God that you create in your memory or your mind, or thinking of the future. Will you be the mind of the consciousness of one? Will you create the fabric of the universe, the cosmos, no more over you to think out there, but see the way? Not of disciples, not of apostles, but of creators. Create the living you now. And let the dead bury their dead. How can the dead bury the dead? A lot of people are alive, seem to be alive. They seem to have breath in their nostrils, but they're dead. They're not dead in their sin. They're dead in their ignorance. They don't have the consciousness of unconditional love for each other. The consciousness of unconditional love for each other. Did you hear me? We're not going into just creation land to patch up the old, or to create another version of humanity, another iteration of mankind in the mess it's in. We're not looking for Shangri-La. We're not lost horizon of something else. We're becoming horizonless, dimensionless, not arbitrators, not mediators, not seeking any kind of vicarious atonement. We're becoming who we are. The real creators create now the consciousness of one. The consciousness of the one, me, the creator of all there is, that is I am. And the I am consciousness of one comes forth. And we break camp now. We break a lot of bonds that held us in captivity. We're no longer willing to make bricks without straw, or be in the slavery, or confused in the desert, saying every day, what is it? What is it? Got to go to work. Who am I? Who are you? What is reality? Does the quantum world have the answers? Or are you the answer? No longer afraid to go into it. No longer limited by molecules. Will you see that you have the dust of the earth no more? In your molecules, or what subatomic particles are you no more having? Invite you to dinner with death. The appointment in Samara. It's a little short story, Appointment in Samara. Brilliant, brilliant. I'm not brilliant, but I'm willing. I'm willing to lead. I'm not apprehensive. I'm not afraid. But friends, I'm telling you, I'm letting you know, this is not where we've been. I've taught for years, and I'm going into a comfort zone, I'm coming out of mine, even where I've been, where I've taught you. This is new. We are entering a new land. Promised to us? No. We are the creators of it. And everyone is responsible for you, not. And you are responsible for everyone else, not. You are responsible for you, the one in your mirror. And as you become the first person you, listening to the words of the first person you, the original you that existed before time-space existed, before space-time existed, before these planets existed like we think they exist outside of us, we were us. In us, you begin to see the lame, the forlorn, those in hospitals, battlefields, no longer separate from you. And you begin to see life no longer separate from death, not, but you begin to see there is no veil. Where are you going today? I'm going within to speak like this, to lead me, to lead you, to lead you. For you are not dependent upon me. And you can take your training wheels off at any time. But I have a school to lead you into deliverance, not, into dedication of another, not, but deification no longer of something else. There's no deification of a superpower anymore. We are no longer looking to serve God or be sacred or think there's a divinity other than the normal. Normal, paranormal. Not paralytic of, but powerful. The powerful me. The little ladies now that dance with joy, who no longer need their walker. They no longer need somebody to bring them a bedpan. This is what I see. This is what I speak. This is what is coming about, not arranged by you, religionist. The humble shall rejoice now because you have to be humble. Only the humble can learn this. Only the humble can come within, not seeking refuge, but coming forth in the conception of the seed of living love to produce the child, to come as a little child. Child of creation, to create your consciousness anew, to be a new creation that looks like you, doing the things I did, Jesus did, you do now. No matter what you think you've done in the past or not. I invite you to write me. I invite you to discuss this lesson. I invite you to transcribe it, to write it out. Download it. Copy the file. Make copies. Send them to your friends. Start a club. Start a dinner date. A dinner fellowship. A sharing your words fellowship. Because your words must come forth, not to shield you from mine, not to shield you from hell or religion, but to no longer be shielded from who you are because you no longer wear the veil and the consciousness that keeps you separate. See what I've said? I invite you, create a course. Outline this talk, this teaching, this lesson. New Year's resolution? What are your priorities? What are you going to do? Where are you going to be? What are you going to listen to? What are you going to create? You just want another degree to hang on your wall to help out your resume? Or will you go in where no man has gone? Star Trek? Will you go where no one can defeat you? No one, no thing, no thought, no armament, no guns, tanks, and bombs. Within you, the holy place. The Creator creates the consciousness. Or does the consciousness create the Creator? Or will you be one and the same without a veil? No longer deifying something else. The deification of me ends now. And we're leaving the deification of me land. And we're coming into Creator land. The Creator of you being you, the real you, that's no longer denying it. No longer trying to have faith to believe for something else, somewhere else. A heaven, a hell, a carrot and a stick, a Jekyll and a Hyde. My friend, the calm waters you will walk across. And many a storm too. But you can calm the storm. You can raise up the paralytic. You can call forth Lazarus. You can turn the water into wine. You can feed the 5,000 with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. And this is where we're going. No longer deifying another. We're understanding who we are. And we're no longer afraid of the lion's mouth. Those people in religious robes. Those people who wear collars. The ordained. Those who think they're part of the fivefold ministry. You're no longer the dust of the earth laden by. You're me, the Word. The Word, the message. The Word, the energy. The Word, the energy. The love. The inconsequential not. That there are no more unintended consequences of me being felt, or will you feel my love everywhere. In politics, in capitals, in Parliament, Knesset. Will you ask the right questions? Will you be humble enough to learn to lead? See, the greatest leaders are the greatest followers. Hear me well. Because the greatest leaders lead at times with followers who become leaders, who begin an inter-exchange of energy, where at any given moment you don't know if you're leading or following. You become one. There's not the differentiation anymore. There's an exchange, an equality, with no longer the veil. I love you. I go. Remove the veil. Break camp. Be religionless. Coming into dimensionless land, creation land, Meonics land, and be the creator. I love you. I'm the school of me, the school of Theodore Cottingham, school of creation. Asking you to create your school too. The school you go through, as you go through mine, as we go through, as we progress, as we develop the light, as we speak the light, and we come into the light, no longer fearing the lion's mouth or the fiery furnace, the threat of hell, or God's condemnation. Unconditional love says, you're home. You're me. I am. Wear the crown. Complete the blessing. Conceive the seed, grow it up, and be the living me. No longer disciples or apostles of another. Be the ones now who heal this land, and be seamless with I am, all that I am. 1 hour with love. Thank you for letting me love you. Thank you for letting me share this way this day. Happy New Year. Come out of your hole. Come out of that which holds you captive to a belief system, and flow the living word. Channel me day by day. Me, Theodore Cottingham, you can begin with my words. Write me if you want to. Write God, write source, write universe. No matter what you call me, I'm the one in your mirror. See you later. Box 34 in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, if you want to write me. I love you. I have a contact page on my website. You can ask questions. You can talk to me. I may answer you. By email, I may answer you as I speak like this, the consciousness of one. This is how this school works, the consciousness of one love. If you're looking for a curriculum like everybody else has, where you have a textbook and everything's already reduced to the lowest level, so you just kind of fit into their formula. This is not it. Your path is unique to you. Your experience is your vocabulary. And I'm not ashamed of you. I call you beautiful. TheodoreCottingham.com. School of Creation. Come into creation land. Break camp with the past. Only you can answer. Choose well, my dear. I love you all. Good day. I invite you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't, this YouTube channel, and go to my website and subscribe to the email list if you haven't. It's another way of communicating with direct words to help spark the creativity of the real you in you, so you will no longer be separate from your word. To enjoy the school of one, entering within the real you. See you later. Good day. Happy New Year. Be the real you in power. See you.